welcome to the Parenting Tools podcast. My name is Jason.
And my name is Jordan, and this is the podcast where myself and Jason have a chat about being dads, parent life, the beautiful beauty, the terrible terror. No, there's no terror, but we talk about it.
But there definitely is. On today's episode, me and Jordan have a really... I've really enjoyed this chat, Jordan. We talk about... It's particularly in our situation, Jordan had some amazing baby news to share, but sharing that with me in the context of where we've had some really not great news. Baby loss and all that sort of stuff. How to navigate that conversation. What do you do? We eventually get to that conversation. Enjoy the ride. See you there.
Sweet, I'm so tired of you. Sweet, I'm so tired of you treat me this way. I'm sick and then I'm...
So how are we?
Ooh, we're on the turn.
Well, I felt on the turn.
We're on the turn.
How old are you?
We're on the edge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was doing great last week.
How bad edge is it?
Yeah, on the turn of... I feel like I've got the flu.
Oh, dear.
I feel sniffly. Got a lozenge on the go.
Yep, I'm joining you there.
And yeah, I blame the kids. All the kids have got it.
Yeah, it's doing the rounds.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan at all.
Yeah. How are you?
Mate, great. Bit tired. Nothing to do with the kids.
Why are you tired, George?
Well, so I drove from Belgium to England, where we live, yesterday.
It's a long commute.
Yeah, it was very long. Went to see family last week. My granddad has turned 90.
You drove?
Yeah. So on the way there, we went down to Folkestone and we stayed overnight on mine and Leanne's anniversary. So we
nice.
went out.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much. And then we drove over the next day. But yesterday we did it in one.
With the kids?
With the kids. Yesterday we did it in one go. And yeah, I'm just a bit tired, I think.
How far is that?
It is. In miles, I don't know.
In time?
10 hours, the journey.
10 hours in one go? How?
But that's with a tunnel trip and a stop.
Just one stop?
Just one stop, yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, we did all right. We had
How
a
long was
lovely
the stop
journey.
for?
45 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
The kids were fine for 10 hours in a car?
They were brilliant. All week, all journey, and we did it without any screens.
No screens? What did they do?
It's a little bit of, it's not a humble brag, but I'm quite proud of that we didn't resort.
Do you remember when you were little and there was no screens in the back? What did you do to occupy yourself?
The same thing our kids did yesterday.
What did they do?
Tetris. Now, does this count as a screen?
What are they playing it on?
A little like £1.50 Tetris game from B&M.
I did not know that exists.
Neither did I. Leanne came out with them the other day.
Well, I suppose it's technically got a screen.
Yeah, it's got a screen.
It's not a blue light screen, though, is it?
No, it's not a tablet.
OLED.
It's not in no.
Piercing their eyeballs.
1080. So no, they played Tetris
For 10 hours. No wonder they were quiet.
Yeah. The Tony's box came in.
Clutch. Wow.
Sang songs. Yeah, brilliant. They did really well. Amazing.
When I was little, I remember doing this thing, looking out the window in long journeys, pretending that Spider-Man was jumping from lamppost to lamppost.
Nice.
And I remember telling Em that. I was like, did you do that? She was like, no, that's weird.
Neither did I.
There we go.
What I used to like to do was, when you overtake a car on the motorway and that car is overtaking another car,
Yeah.
see if you could line up at one point. That's what I used to do.
Without when you weren't driving, when you were just watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a moment.
The 90s were great.
There was a moment when you'd look out the window and there'd be other people looking back at you.
Yeah.
What a wild time.
I just want to say as well, having driven in Belgium, France and England yesterday,
Yeah.
we are terrible, and I mean terrible, middle lane drivers in this country. We are awful for it.
I imagine we're like bottom rung European drivers.
We are shocking. And do you know the roads where there's 4 lanes?
Yeah.
People that are in the third lane. Yeah. The third lane is now the middle lane. If you're driving right now, actually, have a look at what lane you're in. Have a look at if you're overtaking someone. If not, move yourself back into lane 1.
Get in the left-hand lane.
Yeah, get yourself in the left-hand
Unless you're in
lane.
a different country.
Yeah. Then don't do that. That's quite dangerous. But I will say, having just said the kids were amazing all journey, if you were in the South Mims services yesterday, what's the date yesterday? 23rd? Sunday the 23rd of February. If you were in South Mims and you heard a toddler having a meltdown. I apologise.
See?
It was mine. Yeah. My little girl, for whatever reason, ordered a KFC. And when they
She
called
ordered KFC?
yeah, she ordered a KFC. And when they called our number, I went to put her down, just kicked off.
Oh.
Didn't want to be put down. And then when I picked her back up, she then didn't want to be with me. She wanted to be with Leanne, who was queuing up in the subway somewhere else. So, and I mean, it echoed. The construction of this building was just conducive to child scream. And yeah, everyone could just hear my 3-year-old kicking off.
It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, she had a wobble. She had
And
a
then
wobble.
people there will record it on a voice note and send it to other people.
Yeah, don't have kids. This is what they're like in the South MIM services.
This is how I know I'm really sad. I stopped at a new services, as in it was brand new.
Ooh.
Somewhere just after Sheffield. I think it's Rotherham.
Mm.
And it was like the third day it was open. Brand spanking new.
How was it?
I had a lovely time.
Really?
Yeah.
By yourself?
By myself on the way somewhere.
Ooh. What were we talking?
Had a half an hour stop.
What's there?
Everything you want.
KFC?
Yeah.
Mackies?
Yeah.
Burger
Maybe
King?
not Mackey's.
Mm. You never get the
One
three
of them.
do you?
No, it's Mackey's or Burger King usually take precedent, don't they?
Mm. Yep.
But it was delightful. And that's the moment I realised I'm old.
You're old.
Yeah. I enjoyed the service
You're on
station.
the turn.
I'm truly on the turn.
But no, had a lovely time in Belgium with family. We went to a water park one day where I had a slight parenting fail. Our kids were allowed on 3 of the 4 slides. Mila wasn't allowed on one of the slides, and she had to go on 2 of them with me. So there was one they were both allowed on without me.
Yeah.
The yellow slide. They said, can we go on the yellow slide on our own? And that was the first flight of stairs. I said, yeah, as long as you go on the yellow slide. They got to the top of the stairs. They then ran up the next lot of stairs without me to go to the big slides. More for me. And this was a spiral staircase, like a metal spiral staircase. Mila slipped. And fortunately, and quite humorously, just slid down the spiral, and I could just see her spiraling down. She was fine, just like just going down this. She got a bit of a bruise on her leg, quite bad actually.
Oh no. Oh, no.
But she wasn't hurt. I went to her. I said, "Are you okay?" She says, "No." I said, "What hurt?" She went, "My body."
Anyone over 30 relates?
Yeah, absolutely. Stairs, steep stairs. So yeah, that was a bit of a fail on my part. Trusting my children to go on the most boring slide on their own.
Yep.
But you know, we live and learn. We move.
That's amazing. So yeah, had a lovely half term.
Yeah. And then I was off with the kids today for inset day.
I saw this on the story. You went to the library.
Went to the library. I had a bit of a dad fail. So I told them we're going to go to the museum. So we're going to go out to the museum today. We packed lunches, sandwiches, got in the car. Museum was closed.
Oh no.
And I was determined.
No.
I was determined. Because I Googled it last night, to see what times it opens.
Yeah.
It's closed. It opens 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Didn't see it opens 10 a.m. Tuesday.
Oh no.
So I got in the car at about 10:05. And
this has
closed.
become like, there's pet peeves that you get as a parent that only relate to parenting, and probably particularly to your other half.
Yeah.
There is one pet peeve that I'm happy to air. And I do it as well. So I'm happy to air it. It's when you say something or suggest an idea without checking if you actually can back it up.
Yeah, no, that's valid.
That annoys me so much.
Yeah.
And I annoy myself.
I suppose the thing is, I did Google it. I just
Googled the wrong day. It's an innocent mistake.
I saw open 10 a.m.
Lice lesson.
Lice lesson.
Lice lesson.
It's a lice lesson.
Yeah.
I've avoided head lice, with the kids
Yeah.
so far.
Are they on the downturn?
Head lice. Oh, we need. Is this a pre and post COVID?
They got pandemic and the lice situation. Or no, I think they were skyrocketing at one point.
Yeah, the 90s were bad. Do you remember that stuff that just absolutely stunk?
Just a line of kids with just bald heads.
Yeah, oh, mate, it was awful. But ropey times. But no, so we were going to the museum. I was determined I'm not doing soft play. Because soft play for me is a bit of a lazy option. No shade on people that do it, but for me, I know I can go and sit there.
Oh, that's because you sit and you don't have to do anything.
Exactly, I can
soft play for me is involved.
Yeah, so for me, it's the easy option. And after the museum was closed, I googled more museums, all closed. Don't know why.
Mondays.
Yeah, museum closed Monday.
Yeah,
and we went to a soft play, didn't we? So yeah, that. It's like a bad lifestyle that you just can't leave behind.
It's like when you're just stuck in the same takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't choose the soft play. The soft play chose me.
But you went to the library as well.
Yeah, I went to the library this afternoon, which was really nice, which was lovely.
Which is a top tip if parents, if you don't utilise the library.
Yeah.
Is it free?
There are books there you can just take home.
I say this, I don't frequent the library.
I didn't really know what to do. The kids had to show me what to do. But yeah, we went and they were like, you have to be quiet. And Milo was going to me, Daddy, you have to be quiet in the library. It's like, okay. So we can speak a little. She was going, no, we have to whisper. And then she got a book with noises. So she's there going, Daddy, we have to whisper. Moo. I was like, right, let's not use the book with sound. So yeah, I think between the journey last night or yesterday and then inset day today, just a little bit tired. A little bit tired. It's fine. You're a parent, you're allowed to be tired. Yeah. I'll just fall asleep on the way home on the motorway. Oh. No, it's not.
We'll finish it. This will be a short episode.
Yeah.
Folks. Well, my weekend was lovely. Thanks for asking.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was lovely. Thank you.
How was last week also?
I can't remember. The weekend. So my car broke. Family news. And on Sunday, we decided to... We live on like the outskirts of Sheffield. You don't have to know exactly where, but somewhere on the outskirts. And so we decided on Sunday morning to get the bus to church. It's an hour and a half on the bus.
An hour and a half?
Yeah.
Does the church run away from you?
No, it's just we're right on the outskirts, so it takes a long time to get in.
Is it on the other side of the outskirts?
Slightly. No, it's in the city centre. It just takes a long time to get in on a Sunday. I think it's an hour maybe on a normal weekday.
Dear me. How long in the car normally?
25 minutes.
Really? This is why people don't go on buses.
Well, Noah loved it. Noah had a lovely time.
Kids love buses.
Problem is, my foot's still hurting, so I'm limping away. Walked to the bus stop. Fantastic. It's cold. Bought a beanie from the Co-op. Didn't realise Co-op sell beanies.
Why's your foot hurting and why are you limping?
Because I hurt my foot the other week. Anyway. I hurt my foot the other week. It still really hurts. And so I'm limping.
Okay. Good context.
Great context. Now we're all caught up. On the bus, Noah's having a lovely time. She pretends that she's flying on the double decker. She's absolutely loves it.
Top deck.
About 45 minutes into the journey, we realised that we got the wrong time bus and that we're actually going to miss church.
Wait, so you were late?
Yeah.
By like an hour and a half?
Yeah. Well, we were going to be late by 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And by then, like, the kid stuff has already started. It's really awkward. Like, we thought, what are we going to do? So we were Googling loads of other churches. If you don't go to church, most churches start at like 10, half 10, maybe 11. Most churches don't start at half 11 or even quarter to 12, which is the time that we got into Sheffield.
So it took you an hour and a half there, and I'm guessing an hour and a half back.
Well, so when we got into Sheffield, we decided, change of plan, an adventure.
Adapt, overcome.
So we got the bus into Sheffield, then we got the train to Meadowhall.
Nice.
So we just thought we'll just go on every mode of transport we can. Walked around Meadowhall, went to the Lego shop.
Lovely.
That was a fun activity.
Yeah.
Went to the cinema.
Oh, nice.
We saw the Julia Donaldson. There was like 2 Julia Donaldson films back to back. The Tiddler and something about a whale and a snail.
Snail and the whale.
That's the one. You know it well.
Yeah, nice story. I've not heard of Tiddler before.
It's a little fish that tells tales. It's quite good. But at the cinema, obviously it's a Sunday morning, and you're watching Julia Donaldson. There's not just loads of adults there. We go to sit down, and there's a family like on our row with a newborn.
Oh,
And like our seats are right at the end.
yeah,
So instead of just getting them to move, we got, no, don't worry, we'll climb over.
yeah.
Not forgetting that I've got a bad foot. It's fine. As I go to sit down, I get a waft. Big stinky waft.
Oof.
The baby's in a poo.
Ooh.
It's fine. We deal with it. It's funny. It's fine.
Newborn life.
Yeah. Behind us, there's a family there with a kid.
Oh, my word.
And before the movie's even started, their one child's going, I don't like the cinema. Can we go now? And then when the movie starts, the other kid in our row is narrating the whole thing.
Oh.
And it's going, Dad, did you just see that? And the dad's going, yes, I'm watching it. He's literally saying it the whole way through. But before the end of the movie, half of the cinema has already gone home.
Really?
Brilliant.
Had enough.
Yeah.
So you rescued your day
Had a lovely day.
and you caught a plane home.
Yeah. No, we then went out for some food. It's lovely.
What are we talking? Nando's, Five Guys?
Pizza Express.
Pizza Express.
Mhm.
Nice.
When you need a pizza, quick. That should be their slogan.
Yeah. Sure.
Although it wasn't very quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, plan for that if you're taking kids. Activities.
Activities. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Always got
Anyway,
activities.
just had a lovely time. Was going to be disastrous because we were going to be late, but had a lovely day on public transport.
Anyway, I've got a question for you. My son said to me, we were watching Gladiators on Sunday evening, and he said,
Yep.
he said the line that I'd hoped was not coming. He said, Dad, I want you to go on Gladiators.
Wow.
I said, no.
Son, adjust your expectations.
I would love to. I actually would love to. There are a few things hindering me. Sounds like excuses. My eyesight isn't very good. And you can't go smashing into people that are like 18 stone with a pair of glasses on. I think
very
that's
practical.
my first thing. Was,
Contacts?
Thought you, but okay, this is very nerdy. They don't make contact lenses strong enough for my eyesight.
Double up.
So, so I play football with contact lenses, and everything's still quite blurry.
What about if you wore contacts and then goggles?
Oh, maybe goggles. Maybe. So that's my first thing.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't think I'd be able to see very well.
It's kind of crucial.
And this was so the new series of Gladiators, because everyone's now like gym bros, aren't they?
Yeah.
You've got people that have been training their whole life. There was a guy on there, his name was Joe. He was a GB gymnast.
Saw that one.
So like he's been training his whole life.
Yeah.
I'd be training for like 10 months.
Didn't he get smash the record for the...
Oh yeah, he got the quickest eliminator, didn't
That's
he?
the one.
Yeah, something like that.
Well done, Joe.
Well, yeah, shout out to Joe. So I was thinking, I've got no chance, anyway, of competing with people that have been training their whole life.
Yeah.
I can't see very well, and all these people are quite tall. I'm 5'9.5". I'm not very big, so I think there's a few events I think I'd do all right on.
Yeah, that could be your advantage.
Yes, speed.
Speed.
Speed. And I'm just very fragile as well at the minute. I'm just getting injured all the time.
Next time you find yourself at a kid's playground, just have a go at the monkey bars.
I love the monkey bars.
There you go.
I feel like I could do all right at those.
If you're great at that, you could smash gladiators.
No,
It's 90% monkey bars.
You heard it here first. So I didn't say all that stuff to him because I thought I don't want him to grow up with an excuse maker of a dad, but also I want him to think what you put your mind to, you can achieve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my question to you is this. Long-winded. My question to you
Crucial
is this.
backstory to the question.
Yeah. If you were to go on a TV show as a contestant, what would you go on and why?
I would love to have gone on, I don't think it exists anymore, Get Your Own Back.
Oh, with Dave Benson Phillips.
Or 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
Those two, I loved
Angelica, was
those
it?
shows growing up.
Angelica that did 50-50?
No idea.
Flynn, what did they win?
But I absolutely loved them as a kid. Thought they were brilliant.
I love Get Your Own Back because it was like, I want to get my own back on my dad because he made me eat my peas. And everyone in the crowd's going, boo! And the dad's just there like,
There's guns.
And you got Dave Benson Phillips going, crank him up. And then there's some other kid there were like, I want to get my own back on my teacher because she made me do my work. And everyone's like, boo.
I'm telling you, the 90s were excellent.
Oh, mate, wild times.
Yeah, but my actual answer,
Oh, yeah.
what is the...
I've got a sub question as well, by the way.
Okay. The Crystal Maze.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I actually would have preferred to do the monkey version that was for kids.
Oh, Jungle Run.
Jungle Run. Again, the 90s were excellent for game shows.
Do you remember Raven?
Let's
bring it back.
Raven looked amazing.
Raven was dodgy ass.
Change my act. I want to go on all of them.
Raven was like, you'd be your name backwards, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So you'd be like Nasoj, and it'd be like Nasoj. Be like, you've got 30 seconds, or the demons will kill you. And we're just like, frig, and then like they'd vanish. It's like 7-year-old me
so
watching
fun
it. Like,
though.
I want to go on this.
Oh, I've changed my answer again. There's too many. There's simply too many. Total Wipeout.
Oh, I would love to do Total Wipeout.
I love to do all of those. That's my answer.
My sub question: get your own back.
Yeah.
Who would you get your own back on, and why?
I actually don't know.
You can go for child answer, like child Jason, and modern day.
Child Jason would probably be one of my parents. For that. They didn't let me have Cocoa Pops for every meal. Boo. Nutrition.
Responsible parenting. Boo.
Now, is it too political to say the Prime Minister?
Ooh.
Keir Starmer.
Come on down.
Get your own back.
And why?
Just imagine the crowd.
Imagine. Crank him up.
I don't even mind the Prime Minister that much. George, do you want to hear a feedback message?
Oh, yeah.
We've had a message from a listener. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah. Lovely.
So bizarre, from Sarah. So listen to your latest pod. You guys are so good and so relatable. Love it. Reminded me of our Abby, who literally doesn't stop talking. And I remember saying to her, Abby, not every thought in your head needs to come out of your mouth. She just looks at me and says, Mummy, some kids just have more to say than others. I'm one of them. So you need to deal with it.
Get over it.
Oh, the sass.
Oh, the sass.
Thank you, Sarah, for your message.
I loved our Abby there.
Yeah.
Our Abby.
She's from down south as well, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have guessed
Up north.
up north, yeah.
Yeah.
Outskirts.
Outskirts.
Well, that leads us nicely to funny things your kids have said this week. And we've got lots of listener messages this week. So we'll dive straight into them with the first one from Peter. And Peter says this. Clearly, mine spends too much time around dogs. He just shouts either mummy or daddy, then pretends to whistle, expecting us to come running. Imagine
brilliant.
like a 2-year-old going, Mummy, heel.
No. I mean, that does happen quite a lot.
Got Mummy, walkies.
Walkies. From Kirsty. My 1-year-old now has learnt to say BBs to the TV remote when she wants to see BBs.
Wow. Gosh. So just tells BBs.
Wow.
My kids used to say BBs, but it would be asking me, watch BBs.
Aww.
It wouldn't be into the remote. That's...
AI assistant level.
Yeah, it's next level, isn't it?
This is a little bee that I have in my bonnet. Not everything needs to have AI in it. Stop it.
I saw
Chill
an
out.
AI toothbrush recently.
Stop it. You don't have to talk to everything.
No,
Chill out.
no, developed with AI.
A toothbrush can be a toothbrush. I don't want it to talk to me.
No. What does AI in a toothbrush do?
I missed a bit there, mate. Just getting judged from every angle.
Yeah, no, I'm not for that.
Just if you're making some kind of product, take AI out. Don't need it. Chill out.
Toilet roll with the AI.
With toilet roll holder, smart.
A smart toilet roll.
Refills itself.
Use less.
It's just got facts.
I need that for my wife. Dear me. We buy a toilet roll and it is gone the next day. It's like, and I'm not even talking about the toilet. I mean, like blowing her nose.
Just playing. I just toilet roll mummies.
She goes, I need a bit of tissue for my nose. It comes back with like a hand just wrapped, like she's got 3rd-degree burns on her knuckles, and then the toilet roll's gone. Where's it?
Well, there's just the whole roll.
Yeah, just got a sniffle. Wrap that bad boy up. What are you doing? You're sticking it up there. You don't need that much. Oh, that's been on my chest for a while.
Well, if you've got a bee on your bonnet,
yeah,
let us know.
Let us know. I don't need AI in my toothbrush. This is from Amy. Why day? Yesterday, I was shouting upstairs to my husband, babe. My 18-month-old repeated, beeb.
Oh, that's cute.
Married to a pig. Bar MU. Oh, that's the low-hanging fruit, that is.
Again, if you've not seen the movies, just for context,
yeah,
there's a movie called Babe.
About a pig, yeah.
There we go. You know, just cool. We had one from Rev Poppy.
Shout out Rev Poppy.
3-year-old. Do you know what's annoying me? What? Them. You.
Set them up to knock them down. Hashtag burn. That is brutal.
That 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. No, that's good. Comedic time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Previous guest Christy has been on Messy Bible Pure Heart, asking if Daddy had pumped whilst all sat in a crowded hospital waiting room. It's funny because the more you deny it, the more you look guilty.
Was that you?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Daddy. Must have been someone else. Have you ever done a little fart and blamed it on your daughter?
No.
When she was younger?
No.
I did once.
Really?
Yeah, and then I told the person. I was in the garden with our friend Georgie, and Marla had just learned to crawl, and she was crawling away, so I leant it over. Let one go, and I was like, oh, Myla. And about 45 minutes after, I was like, I've got to be honest, it was me. I can't let her take the fall.
What was the reaction?
And she found it funny.
And then from Caleb, 3-year-old said yesterday in the car, Daddy, I'm the only person that can't see my own eyes.
That's profound.
Caleb, you have a genius there.
Yeah.
That is Aristotle level.
Yeah. What dries as it wets. That's really true when you think about it.
No, you can't do it.
No. So we've had a message from Georgie that says, I'm writing in again. Thank you for talking about the concept of one parent staying at home. I'm lucky enough to be a Sam, stay-at-home mum. But this is coming as a sacrifice as we have less expendable income. However, I do still think I'm living the dream, and having a parent at home to run the home and look after our little boy is definitely what is right for our family. I wish more people could have this option. I feel like there is an unexpected stigma about being in my position. When I tell people I'm a stay-at-home mum and my little one doesn't go to nursery, he's only 2, I get backwards judgment. I honestly think this is envy from people, and that's so sad. Anyway, you don't have to share this. I just wanted to get it out.
Very valid.
Very valid.
It's one of those weird things that, and I think it's a lot worse on women. I mean, there's a lot of judgment for men as well, but there's so much judgment on genuine, and I've seen it a lot more on the women's side because both parents can be stay-at-home parents. Mm-hmm. There's a guy I follow on Instagram who's a stay-at-home dad, and he gets a lot of like positive like comments. I'm sure he gets a lot of his hate as well, but I imagine it's worse for women, where like to be a stay-at-home mum or stay-at-home parent is like really negative nowadays. Like, in all honesty, that's what me and my family want. Yeah. We're on the other side where we've both working full time and we still have no expendable income. Em would love to be a stay-at-home mum. Like that, just the reality of it. I don't think I could do it, but I would if that was what was best for my family. Mm-hmm. I really don't get why there's so much negativity around it.
Yeah, nor me.
Like you think about, you just ask yourself the question of your kids: would they benefit from spending more time with their parents?
Depends who the parents are.
If the answer's no, then yeah, send them off to nursery. I don't know. It's so difficult, but it's just for most people, it's just so unaffordable. Like we're so far from being able to do that.
I just feel like we live in an age where there's judgment no matter what you do.
Amen.
No matter what you do. But then, maybe 80s, 90s, women that were more career focused, they'd have had judgment like, don't you want to raise your kids? And now it's, don't you want to pursue your career?
There'd be judgment on every side, wouldn't there? You only realise the moment that you're in.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And it'll be something different in 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah. The best advice, just don't care what people think.
Don't care what people think. Easier said than done.
Very, very much so.
And we've also had some comments. Do you know I said that Milo wanted a jacket potato and beans?
Yeah.
Without the jacket potato. We've had some come in from people. So Becky has said, in negotiations about lunch, when offered ham and biscuits after lots of different options, my 2-year-old replies, yes, but no ham. Just biscuits. I just have the biscuits.
Sure, it's funny that I think for a lot of people, becoming a parent, they realise they couldn't be a terrorist negotiator.
Nope.
We take the easy road every time. Not every time, but compromise a lot.
So what do you want to get this prized asset
back? What are
your
demands?
Some space raiders and a bit of TV time.
Absolutely. Deal.
Done. And Lil has been on TikTok and said, my oldest asked for French toast without the toast quite often as a little kid. I never did anything differently. Sometimes I managed to make it without the toast. Other times I didn't. So yeah, Lil's daughter wanted French toast without the toast.
Do you know what? I've realised I would eat fancier things if I could be bothered to cook.
Yeah, I agree.
I can make some fancy things, but it just takes far too long.
It does.
So today, I decided to embark on one of those fancy things. It's not a fancy thing. Most people say this is a very normal thing. For me, it's fancy. I had a brunch. Bagel.
Nice.
Bagel, egg, sausage patty, bit of cheese.
How was it?
Delicious.
What time are we talking?
This was 11.
Oh, nice. Brunch time.
Brunch time, it is. So much effort, though. So much washing. I won't be doing that again tomorrow. It was delicious.
Shifting gears. Changing gears. I asked you if you fancied discussing this before. And obviously we've had baby news recently. And you've experienced some heartache, really, when it comes to baby and conception and stuff. I wondered if you were up for talking about receiving sort of baby news from friends when you're having a tricky time. And then from my perspective, which obviously isn't anywhere near as bad, navigating the sharing of that news.
Yeah, it's really tough.
When you know it might be a sensitive subject.
I think, so for the context, if you're a new listener, my wife had 3 miscarriages over like 12 months. And that's really, really sucks. And I think in that time, some of our closest friends like found out they were having children and like even family at the same time, and you are elated for them. Sometimes it's really difficult to navigate your own grief and be happy for people. They're not even in the same conversation. You're still happy for people, but when you're in a mode of grief, that just overtakes everything. And so if you talk to anybody who's grieving, like a loss of a loved one, that usually consumes most of their life at the rawest part. And it's not that they're not happy for people. It's not that they don't want to see people. It's just that actually, at the moment, that pain probably is just so real and so raw. I think when you've had multiple encounters with that sort of grief or loss, I think it doesn't get easier, but you become a lot more aware of other people, and you don't want to be like a Debbie Downer, and a lot of people try to soldier on, but it's okay just to recognize that I'm still really hurting from that. It sucks, it's fine, but also that doesn't have to be in the spotlight of every conversation you have. So I think it's just a natural part of that grieving process of when it's raw, it's really difficult, but also just part of processing it, of like learning to that thing not taking the center of every conversation. Even if you have conversations with other people, you might not say it, but it still might be the biggest thing on your mind.
Yeah.
Like, over time, that just gets less and less, and you go back to normal again. That's just part of processing grief. Like, it's still there. You still have the loss, you still have the pain, but like with every grief you have, like when you lose a loved one, it's there, but it's not as raw.
Yeah.
So, and it's one of those things where when one of your friends finds out that they're having a baby, it's like the most exciting time. It's incredible. It's like you want to be overjoyed for them, but it's really hard to act in the same way as you would normally when you're in the middle of that grief.
Yeah.
Because you're not functioning right. You're just quite simply not. So I don't know if that answers the question, but that was definitely my experience. I know Em's had a very similar one as well, but it doesn't make you any less like happy for the people around you. In fact, it's more you don't want to be like negatively impacting them. Like you want them to be able to share, you want them to be able to be happy.
Yeah.
Without your pain causing them misery. Does that make sense?
No. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it does. Don't know why I said no, because the answer's
No.
The answer's yes.
Actually, no.
No, I think so. People listening to this wouldn't know that me and you might not even remember it because you don't know what you did last week. But really early days of the pod, we said if one of us has another baby,
Yeah.
we'll tell each other on the pod.
Yeah.
And then obviously you had the miscarriages last year, and Leanne said, "What? But aware of you and your feeling." She said, "How are you going to tell Jace?" And I said, "Well, we'd agreed to tell each other on the pod." And I thought, that's not right. It's not appropriate to throw your reaction to that news in front of our listeners.
Yeah.
So I text you, and I really didn't want to text you. I wanted to tell you in person, but I think we just hadn't seen each other for a little while.
Yeah. It was a rough part, wasn't it?
Yeah. So kind of the way that in which I approached really happy news with you was different because I'm mindful of your feelings. And again, I'm not using this as any sort of comparison, but it does change the way in which you approach a situation, and it should. I'm not saying it shouldn't at all. It should. We're at that age now where people are trying to have kids or trying to have more kids, and I imagine that this goes on more than people are aware.
Everywhere. And I think one of the biggest things is that people who are experiencing loss or difficulty honestly don't want to get in the way of your joy. They and that's the thing, they just want to be happy for everyone. Like, yes, it is disappointing, but that's only, from my experience, that's only like self-reflecting. It's not, oh, why are they having that? It's always, I'm so happy for them, but like, ugh. And so it's just so, it's so difficult, especially when it's right in the midst of that like difficult part.
Yeah.
But again, you're also like, I was also aware of how difficult that might have been for you, because it's like you don't want to make it awkward. Like you don't want to just like, you're aware of because you're like one of the first people I told every time. It's like, okay, this has happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't want to make that situation worse, but also it's okay that these two things live in different circles.
Yeah.
They are completely different things. Like it doesn't take up the same space. It's just like with every other thing, you can be really upset about one thing, but then in the same thought, be really happy for somebody else.
Yeah.
They can live mutually. And I think when somebody's going through like a really difficult time and it's really raw, generally they don't I'm speaking very broadly here. A lot of people don't function at capacity anyway. And so it's, again, the only mindful bit is just being whatever reaction you're expecting of them, just be loose. But it's more of, from my perspective, I would always rather not almost like discard my feelings, but almost like, I'm aware you're aware of it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get in the way. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. I think one thing that I noticed was one of our first episodes back, we had like the highlights of last year, and there were so many people going, having our second baby, having a baby.
Yeah.
And I really felt for you when I listened back to it. I didn't even clock it at the moment.
That was really tough at the time. And that was like right in the midst of it. That was really tough. And I think generally, like, the podcast has been difficult through that season because it's like, I love my daughter with absolutely everything. But one of her biggest desires is to have a sibling. And it's like, that is, you're constantly reminded of that all the time. But I, as a man, I'm not reminded of that the same way that my wife is. And so it's probably more just an insight of, I think in retrospect, I think now, if we were to ever have another child, I think it changes the way I would announce it or tell people. I think I look back at my younger self and, like, you know, you do the really big thing. I think I look back at that and go, that's insensitive because you don't really understand. But you're young, you don't understand. And so people get over it. Like, you have a lot of grace for people who are just don't know any other way. I think now I'd be a lot more discreet. But because sharing our losses, I know a lot more people now that have told me theirs.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the thing. This happens all the time. Like, it's everywhere. But a lot of people don't share it. And I think a lot of people don't share it because they're scared how that's going to change things around them.
How have you found support-wise from like a male perspective? Is there any? What is it?
There's some good stuff in Yorkshire. It's mainly like talking therapies, things like that. I personally found, and this was my situation at the time, my workplace at the time was really tough. And that was part of the reason why I stepped down and changed jobs. Because I was in a role where I was expected to lead a faith community.
Yeah.
But I wasn't given appropriate space to deal with loss. And it's like, it's not seen in the same way as losing a parent or someone or a child that was born. It's not seen in the same way. And whilst I do think they are different things, it still can impact you a lot. And so it's just those things of making sure people, whatever they're grieving, they have enough time to grieve properly.
Yeah.
Because grief really screws you up. So is there support for men? I think there is. I think I probably did the male thing of just like knuckle down. And I think I was more concerned about my wife.
Yeah.
And my concern was, this is the backstory of everything. I needed to change my job so I had more time to be available for my family. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And only really now, months later, are we starting to see the positive impact of that, like 6 months on. We're only now going, okay, we're starting to feel like normal again, which is bonkers. But it's what it is.
Is what it is. Yeah, I think, and again, as someone delivering the news of like we're having a baby, I'm an overthinker anyway, or a gross underthinker. So it could have been
Side.
Tell him on the pod, or just really worry about how I'm going to tell him. And I imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, that your response to it could vary day by day or week by week, depending on what's going on.
I think there was a reason why we had such a long break as well from the podcast, because I found it too difficult to talk about parenting. And I think that's because, like, rightly so, I wouldn't come and do the podcast if I was unsure of how I was going to respond to anything to do with parenting.
Yeah.
There's like a really funny James Acaster like stand-up bit where he's like telling everyone his problems. He's like, I'm not processing this for the first time. You're not the people I would use to process this.
Yeah.
And that's really sensible. So yeah, I think that's just part of it, of actually use that break of just more aware of, absolutely we had loads of stuff going on, but it was also really helpful. That actually just gave me time to think.
Yeah.
And process. And I think especially for guys, there's support groups usually in most places that are set up just for guys to talk. And I actually took a picture of one the other day. Andy's Man Club. Google it, Instagram it. Looks like a great kind of facility just for men to talk in an environment that isn't judgmental, but also just aware of the fact that a lot of guys don't talk about their issues.
No.
And they need to.
No, absolutely.
But I think it's a really good question, because if you're the person that's got that really good news and you're aware of people in your friendship groups that have had difficulty with like conceiving or had a lot of losses, I think just a conversation around it is always really helpful. Also gives that person the chance to maybe talk about it in a way that they've not done before.
Yeah.
And you obviously don't want to blindside people, but also it's okay to be really overjoyed with the news that you have, because it is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably use it as a place to build some deeper friendships.
I think we said it recently when talking about asking people if they're going to have another one. And it was just be aware of the people around you. And we said something along the lines of, it depends on your relationship with that person.
Do you know what? We're so wise.
The first 40 minutes of this would tell you otherwise. But it's like, my wife is brilliant. She has a friend that's gone through a miscarriage recently, and she just asked her, like, how can I be your friend at the minute? And it was just, I just thought that was a really good way of managing it. But she's obviously got that relationship with that person to say, how can I be your friend? Like, tell me what you need from me and I will do that for you.
Yeah.
I think for me, felt maybe a bit of guilt. Leanne had a colleague when we had our first that had, again, like gone through 2 miscarriages when we had our first, and she said, I feel a bit guilty and I don't want to, feel bad, but also I'm aware of how she feels. And I said, you should never feel guilty for something positive. You can't help how you feel. And then it was me and you, and I felt quite a bit of guilt. Just, I don't know, maybe guilt's not the right word.
I think it's probably more that recognition that you've got news which I wish I had, but that doesn't like make your news any less special. But it's just that awareness of how disappointing that my news was. Yeah, I think that's just what it is. I think,
it's good news that could upset you.
Yeah, and I definitely understand people like feeling guilty about wanting to share that. It's more from I would say absolutely don't feel guilty about it. Just again, be aware.
Just be mindful.
Be mindful, but it's still something worth celebrating. Like, never not celebrate that. I think that's the important thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd bring it to the forum, considering it was between me and you, and everything we talk about is.
And I think if any listeners just want to reach out, or maybe you want to chat, want to send us a message
at Parenting Tools Pod.
And if you want to hear more of our wisdom, we'll be back next week.
If you want wisdom, go elsewhere. No, please do get in touch with the funny things your kids have said this week. Any questions or any stories you have, let us know and we will read out the best ones. We'll see you soon.
Sweet, I'm so